Hey everybody, this is Mr. Marshall here at Stony Lane, and I'm here with a reader that I know. This is Riley. Say hi, Riley.
Hi.
So Riley is a big first grader, and we're going to read a story now. This is a story that's a beautiful story that has a lot of feelings in it. And this is a story that I read a long time ago, and I've read it many, many times. And it's one of those books that every time you read it, you can kind of like think and feel something new. This is a story that was written by an author who I met once a long time ago, Mem Fox. And Mem Fox has purple hair, or she did when I met her. Mem Fox lives in Australia, and she wrote this beautiful story, many beautiful stories, but this one is called Wilfrid, Gordon, McDonald, Partridge. Okay, I hope you enjoy it. Wilfrid, Gordon, McDonald, Partridge. There once was a small boy called Wilfrid, Gordon, McDonald, Partridge, and what's more, he wasn't very old either. His house was next door to an old people's home, and he knew the people who lived there. He liked Mrs. Jordan, who played the organ. He listened to Mr. Hosking, who told him scary stories. He played with Mr. Tippet, who was crazy about cricket. He ran errands for Miss Mitchell, who walked with a wooden stick. He admired Mr. Drysdale, who had a voice like a giant. But his favorite person of all was Miss Nancy Allison Delacourt Cooper, because she had 4 names, just as he did. He called her Miss Nancy, and he told her all his secrets. One day, Wilfrid Gordon heard his mother and father talking about Miss Nancy. "Poor old thing," said his mother. "Why is she a poor old thing?" asked Wilfrid Gordon. "Because she's lost her memory," said his father. "It isn't surprising," said his mother. "After all, she is 96. "What's a memory?" asked Wilfrid Gordon. He was always asking questions. "Well, it's something you remember," said his father. But Wilfrid Gordon wanted to know more. So he called on Mrs. Jordan, who played the organ. "What's a memory?" he asked. "Something warm, my child, something warm." He called on Mr. Hosking, who told him scary stories. "What's a memory?" he asked. "Something from long ago, me lad, something from long ago." He called on Mr. Tippet, who was crazy about cricket. "What's a memory?" he asked. "Something that makes you cry, my boy, something that makes you cry." He called on Miss Mitchell, who walked with a wooden stick. "What's a memory?" he asked. "Something that makes you laugh, my darling, something that makes you laugh." He called on Mr. Drysdale, who had a voice like a giant. "What's a memory?" he asked. "Something as precious as gold, young man, something as precious as gold." So Wilfrid Gordon went home again to look for memories for Miss Nancy, because she had lost her own. I wonder what he's thinking. Do you wonder what he's thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder what he's thinking, because it's hard to find memories. I don't know if he gets it. He looked for the shoebox of shells he had found long ago last summer and put them gently into a basket. He found the puppet on strings, which always made him laugh. And he put that in the basket too. He remembered with sadness the medal which his grandfather had given him, and he placed it gently next to the shells. Next, he found his football, which was as precious as gold. And last of all, on his way to Miss Nancy's, he went and took a fresh, warm egg from under a hen. What a strange bunch of things, right? I wonder why he brought all those things. Let's find out. Then Wilfrid Gordon called on Miss Nancy and gave her each thing, one by one. What a dear, strange child to bring me all these wonderful things, thought Miss Nancy. And then she started to remember. She held the warm egg and told Wilfrid Gordon about the tiny speckled blue eggs that she had once found in a bird's nest in her aunt's garden, and she put a shell to her ear and remembered going to the beach by tram long ago and how hot she had felt in her button-up boots. She touched the medal, and she talked sadly of the brother who went off to war and never came home. She smiled at the puppet on strings and remembered the one that she had shown to her sister and how she laughed with a mouthful of porridge. And she bounced the football that Wilfrid Gordon had given her and remembered the day that she had met him and all the secrets they had told. And the two of them smiled and smiled because Miss Nancy's memory had been found again by a small boy who wasn't very old either. And that's the end. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny how sometimes you can think of something, and if you give it with your heart, someone else can feel that part. Isn't that nice? Yeah. So maybe you can do something nice like that for somebody today. Okay? I hope you enjoyed that book. Did you enjoy that book?
Yeah.
Good. I'll see you next time.